for this interview. So sorry to keep you busy on Friday afternoon.
Pleasure.
Okay. So what makes your university different from the others, and what are the competitive edges of your university?
Well, the London School of Economics and Political Science is the most global major university in the world. 70% of our students come from all over the world, and there is no major university that has as much of a diversified international student body as the LSE. I think the second thing that makes us very special is that we are in the heart of London, which is an incredibly global city. And I always tell people the LSE is not what they call an ivory tower of scholars sitting in the middle of a green field somewhere contemplating the universe. Our faculty are involved in the world of policy making, of business, of influencing public opinion. We are a public intellectual.
Mm-hmm. So roughly, what percentage of Chinese students are on your campus?
We have about 10% of our student body who are Chinese. Currently, we have 1,364 Chinese students studying this year. About a third of those are undergraduates. About 2/3 of them are doing postgraduate degrees.
So what's your impression of them?
Well, our Chinese students are very, very clever and very able. I'm always struck when I do the graduation ceremonies. I shake every student's hand who graduates, and also especially the ones who get special honors or special certificates, or who've gotten prizes as part of their degree. And very many of those tend to be our Chinese students who are very, very capable.
So a few weeks ago, it was reported that the United States is considering a visa ban to Chinese nationals. What's your comment on that?
Well, I know from our perspective, Chinese students add a huge amount to our student body, and our view is that we will always welcome students from all over the world. It is consistent with our values. It's the tradition of the LSE from the beginning of when we were established, and we would argue very strongly that that would be the case. And certainly in the UK, the government's position is that we welcome international students.
Mm-hmm. So how do you see the cooperation between your university and the Chinese institutes of education in the future?
Yes. Well, we have been really growing our cooperation with Chinese universities in recent years. We have a very strong partnership with Fudan and Beijing. We have several joint degrees with them at the postgraduate levels where students do 1 year here and 1 year there. We have a fantastic summer school in Beijing where students come and get a short exposure to an LSE education. It's very interesting because some of them are young people, but also some of the people who come are professionals. I recently met a woman in her 60s in New York who was a major asset manager, who was actually from the UK, works in New York, but went to Beijing for the summer, to the summer school, because she was interested in learning about Chinese social policy. She said, I know a lot about the economy, and so she went back in her 60s to be a student again in Beijing as part of our summer school. She was an LSE alumni. So we have many, many areas of collaboration. We also have many excellent Chinese scholars on our faculty, in the economics department, in the history department, in the media department, and we're very proud of them as well. And they've also been a huge source of collaboration with colleagues in China.
So most of the many Chinese universities are trying their best to build the world-class universities in China. So what's your advice to them?
Well, they're doing very well, and I'm sure I can't really give them advice, but I guess what I would say from our experience is that running a university is all about talent and getting the best people you can, the best students you can, and the best faculty you can, and creating an environment where that talent can grow. So I often think of it a bit like being a gardener. You know, we have to create the soil and we bring the best seeds we can and then we encourage them to flourish. I think that's the secret to running a great university, is to create that kind of environment.
So you just talk about running a great university. So what's your idea of a successful education and a successful university?
Yeah. Well, we've been doing a lot of thinking about that at the London School of Economics and Political Science. We have been thinking about our strategy for the next decade and what does a good education and a great university mean in the 21st century. And I think there are two big themes coming out of our work. One is that students today will no longer need to memorize facts. They can go to an internet search engine and get any facts they need in a second. They need analytical skills and research skills so that they know how to assemble these facts and build an understanding around them. They also need skills in data sciences. And so now at the LSE, every first-year student in the first year of their university experience, no matter what they're studying, will get some basic training in digital and data sciences and big data. And we will give them the opportunity to develop those data skills throughout their time here if they want to go further. So data, research skills, and then I think the other big thing is that they will work for a very long time. And they will probably have to retool their skills several times in their career. So the old-fashioned idea that you go to a university between the age of 18 and 21, 22, and then you're done with your education is no longer the right way of thinking about it. And we as universities have to make it easy for students to come back in their 30s, in their 40s, in their 50s, and retool and get new skills, and maybe build those up over time so that they get other degrees later in their career as their career interests and professional life changes.
So let's come to university rankings. So how do you think of it?
Well, I think, the rankings go up and down. We do pretty well in the rankings. We are, for the social sciences, the second best in the world, just after Harvard. And, we're proud of that. But I think we're even more proud of the quality of our graduates and our faculty. And the rankings capture some of that, but they don't capture everything. They're a part of the story, but I think our reputation is even bigger than our ranking.
So you have any idea on how many European staff at your university?
Yes, about 40% of the faculty are European.
So that is
it's a high proportion.
A high proportion, yeah.
Yes, that's correct.
So what do you think? The Brexit. So what do you see the impact of Brexit on?
Yes. So there are three areas that we're looking at the impact of Brexit. One is on student recruitment. And I have to say, even though other universities in the UK have seen a fall in European student recruitment by about 7%, the LSE has actually seen our European recruitment go up by 6%.
Yeah.
So we have not been affected, and we continue to attract excellent European students. So we're a little bit different than the others. I think the second thing is faculty recruitment, and we have, to be honest, not seen any impact yet on faculty recruitment. The one area where we're a little bit cautious is on research funding. We benefit a lot from pan-European research funding. We get actually quite a high proportion as a share of the total. And we are very keen to make sure that after Brexit we continue to participate in those European research consortiums and are lobbying the government very hard to say this is in the interests of the UK to stay involved in European research. And so that's maybe the one area where we're cautious, but we're hoping for a very good outcome.
So I read something about your background information. So you switched from academics and to professors. I mean, from professors to officials, something like that. So,
Yes.
So this kind of experience, how does it help your current job at LSE?
Well, I think it helps in many ways. One, as I said, the LSE is a university that's very engaged with the world, and so from that experience one has networks and contacts all over the world, particularly having been at the World Bank and the IMF, that